equations of lines have actual real-world uses. We're going to look at some of those right now. Welcome to Math Bytes. I'm Allison, and today we're talking about applications of linear equations. So you know all about slope and equations of lines, and now you're wondering when on earth would I ever use this? Well, one way in which linear equations are common is in situations of variable cost. Let's take a look at an example. You're planning a luncheon. It costs $400 for the banquet hall and $30 per person for the food. We want to write an equation that represents this situation so we can figure out how much the luncheon will cost. So let's take a look at what we're saying here. We're saying that the cost depends on the number of people who attend. So our cost, let's call it y, our variable y. Now, before we just try to jump in and create an equation, let's just think it through. How much would it cost if 15 people attended? Well, our cost y would be equal to the $30 it costs for food times the number of people, 15, plus the $400 for the hall. Okay, what if 25 people attended? Then our cost y would equal $30 times 25, that's the food, plus the $400 for the banquet hall. So what are we doing here? We're taking the number of people and multiplying it by the cost per food and adding the banquet hall. So what if X people attended? Then y would be equal to 30 times X plus 400. Now, we can figure out the cost of this luncheon for any number of people who might attend. Let's take a look at another example. Each month you plan to go to a farmer's market to sell homemade jam. Now, it has cost you $300 to get your business started, and you expect to make about $100 a month in sales. Write an equation that represents the profit you expect to make over time. What's the cumulative profit you expect after 6 months? What about after 12 months? Now, I'm going to pause here and give you a chance to try this on your own. Remember, your startup cost, your $300, eats into your profit. That's money you've already spent. Give it a try. I'll be here when you're ready. Okay, let's break this down like we did our last problem. The profit depends on the number of months in business. So let's say that our variable y is equal to profit and our variable x is equal to the number of months we're in business. So to figure out our profit over time, we take the $100 we make every month times the number of months we've been in business, and then we subtract off the money we spent to start the business up. That's that $300. So if we translate that into an equation, we get y equals 100x minus 300. $100 a month times the number of months in business minus the startup cost. Okay, so now we want to know what the cumulative profit is after 6 months. That means x equals 6. So we get y equals 100 times 6 minus 300. That equals 600 minus 300, or $300 in profit. What about at 12 months? At that point, x equals 12, and we get y equals 100 times 12 minus 300. That equals 1,200 minus 300, or $900 in profit. And now you can figure out your cumulative profit after any number of months in business. When doing these problems, it's important to figure out what depends on what. For example, cost depends on the number of people who attend. In linear equations, the dependent variable is y, and the independent variable is x. So cost depends on the number of people who attend. Y depends on x. That can help you structure your equation correctly. And if you're not sure just using x and y's, pick a value, 10 people, 15 people, whatever, and figure that out. And that can help lead you to writing a generic equation for your problem. That's it for this episode of Math Bytes. If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel. And if there's something you'd like to ask us or a topic you'd like to hear us discuss, just send us an email. We're at contactmathbytes@gmail.com, and I'll see you next time.